Hi, I'm CP from WILIReviews, and I'm here to guide Lee on a choice movie. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, is something not to be messed around with. That is why I am here, to make sure he does not screw up. Go ahead, Lee. Don't make a mistake.
He's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, stars Tom Matthews and is directed by Tom McLaughlin. First of all, happy Friday the 13th. That's right, today is November the 13th and it's Friday. Hopefully this video finds you on this day. But I am so excited to review this movie. In my mind, Part 6 is the last great Friday the 13th movie. And my buddy CP, this is his favorite Friday movie, so I definitely wanted to do a good job on this one.
So imagine you getting killed, and what would you do? Hello? Hey, Lee, just got your message. Yeah, sure. If you want to record your own opinion on the film in one edited segment, just shoot it over to me and I'll plug it in mine somewhere. I'm editing mine right now. Well, I'm shooting right now, Lee. So I just got your message, Lee, and I am in the middle of shooting mine, and I'm gonna send you this clip because you interrupted. Yeah, so, okay, you'll have it now.
So Friday the 13th Part 5 came out and it got horrible reviews. It didn't do well at the box office, but Paramount had an ace up their sleeve because they knew if they brought back Jason, then the fans would come back in droves. And if you're gonna bring back Jason, why not bring him back in a big way? And this movie accomplishes that in spades. I love that opening scene where you see Tommy Jarvis and Horshack and they're driving, and Tommy is just hell-bent on making sure that Jason is dead, even though he's buried in the ground and he looks like a zombie. And to me, this is one of the greatest slasher resurrection scenes out of any slasher movie. I just love this scene. Every time I see it, it gives me chill bumps. Because director Tom McLaughlin, he wanted to kind of pay tribute to Frankenstein. Bringing Jason back in Frankenstein mode is so epic. There's nothing more epic than that. And the scene is so awesome. They dig him up, they take this metal rod that was part of the gate, they thrust it into him, and then the lightning comes and strikes. And that scene is just so great. It's lit perfectly. Jason looks like a zombie. Whoever did the makeup on this movie did such a great job. I mean, he's even got like maggots and worms coming out of his head. He literally looks like a skeleton with nothing inside it, just hollowed out. Also, this scene just has so much atmosphere. It's raining, it's foggy. Jason comes up, he punches a hole right through the guy's chest, and he's holding his heart out his back. I love this scene because it lets you know immediately that, hey, Jason is back. And he's badass and he's better than ever. And really this was kind of the introduction of the quote-unquote zombie Jason. Because really, if you think about it, he's kind of a zombie. I mean, he is brought back from the dead. Or he's really just kind of a zombie. I mean, he can still think, he can still plan his attack. He's still Jason in essence. Now, to talk about Tommy, I mentioned in my last review that I didn't really care about the way John Shepherd played Tommy. Tom Matthews, who was also in Return of the Living Dead, which is one of my favorite zombie movies, I thought he played Tommy perfectly. I'm glad that they made Tommy more of a sane person in this, because you kind of need to be a sane person when you're going head to head with Jason. I mean, he still had a little bit of craziness in him, but he was a normal person. And Tom Matthews really played him well. I mean, he is a man on a mission. He wants to put an end to Jason. And he's constantly going through the movie warning everybody, warning the sheriff, and everybody thinks he's crazy until Jason does come back eventually. Now, I love Jason in this movie. And it's funny because there were actually two different stuntmen that played Jason. Initially, it was kind of an overweight guy. He was a seasoned stuntman, but he was just really heavy. And he looked like a fat Jason. And it's kind of funny, you can compare this one to Halloween 6, because Halloween 6 also had two Michaels, a fat Michael and a thin Michael. Same thing with this movie. So the second guy, he was more of an inexperienced stuntman, but he had more of the build that Jason should have. And actually, considering his lack of experience, I thought he did a fantastic job. I thought he had all the Jason mannerisms down, and he had the walk down, and he was pretty brutal when he needed to be. Now, I gotta give credit to Tom McLaughlin. This guy really infused a jolt of electricity, literally, into the franchise. You could tell that he wanted to make this a fun Friday movie, and he really did that. And I love how this movie really is self-aware, and it just kind of pokes fun at itself throughout the whole time. It kind of winks at you from time to time saying, hey, we know that this is silly and stupid, but we're having a great time doing this. We want you to as well. And really a lot of slasher movies that came out after Friday Part 6 kind of owe a huge debt to it. Even Scream, Kevin Williamson, who wrote the script for Scream, he has stated that he was influenced by Friday Part 6, and that's why in Scream you see that Scream itself is self-aware. It pays homage to the slasher genre, and it was such a success because Scream is a really fun movie. And I think that formula really works for slasher movies.
You know, McLaughlin really wanted him to be dead. He wanted to bring him back from the dead, and he wanted to have some fun with it. And the Paramount, and they were all like, listen, you could do it, just don't have fun with Jason. I'm looking at you, Halloween Resurrection. You can have fun, just not fun with the guy that you're supposed to be afraid of. And that's what Friday the 13th Part 6 did. A lot of comedy, a lot of Scream before it was Scream, a lot of elements that were just, ahead of their time, not really fully cooked, but it's there. You know, after seeing Scream and after seeing how it's done so well and perfectly, you can see it in Friday the 13th Part 6. There's meta elements, but meta in the 80s is just, it's still cheesy somehow. And of course, there's these constant references. Frankenstein. He wanted it to be a tip of the cap, an homage, a straight ripoff of Frankenstein. A lot of Frankenstein elements. There are little Easter eggs, characters, stores. There's a Karloff General Store in the film. There's so much there that the writer-director paid so much attention, and he just wanted to tip a cap. He's actually said on numerous occasions that this film, he would love for you to watch it in black and white. He feels that it works as a black and white film. It does work. It could be another reason why he lit the film so well. The film is incredibly well lit. For any Friday the 13th, like you watch 1 through 3, it's just like, what's going on? There's shadows. I think there's something going on. Oh, there's a hand, dead. Friday the 13th Part 6, there's lighting elements in Part 6. They spent money in weird places like lighting. But yeah, it's the best comedy of the series. Anytime that there's comedy in the series, it's well thought of and meta. The fourth wall breaks, just incredible stuff. C.J. Graham, the guy who played Jason, an ex-Marine, and he took it as straight job. There was no rest. There was no, it was a Marine doing Marine work, and he was pretty flawless as Jason.
Now, Part 6 has some really awesome kills in it. I'm going to talk about a couple of them. First off, I love the iconic RV scene when you have the couple having sex. And if you remember in my Part 5 review, I talked about Debbie Sue Voorhees and how Darcy DeMoss was actually up for that role, and she had a no nudity clause in her contract, but she ended up getting the part in Part 6. What's funny about Part 6 is there's zero nudity throughout the whole movie. Damn you, Darcy DeMoss. Damn you. And the awesome kill that is in the RV scene makes up for the lack of nudity. I mean, while her character Nikki is in the bathroom, Jason comes in, he grabs the back of her head and pushes it through the wall of the bathroom. That scene is so awesome looking, and it's a really inventive kill. And another kill that I really have to talk about is the sheriff's demise. That scene was just groundbreaking. He's walking through the forest, and Jason catches up to him, and he folds his body in half backwards. I remember when I first saw that scene, I was just blown away. To me, that is one of the ultimate kill scenes in slasher history. I just love that scene. And it's really crazy because you can hear his bones cracking slowly as his body is folding in half. And what's really cool about all these kill scenes is Tom McLaughlin was constantly trying to get more money for the budget. And he has stated that his lack of money forced him to be more creative. And I think we benefited from that because the kill scenes were really creative. And if you really break it down, folding somebody's body in half really doesn't cost that much to produce, but it really makes for a great kill. I also really liked the character Megan. I thought she had a lot of spunk to her character. You could tell that she seemed like she was having a lot of fun on the set. Whereas, like I stated in part 5, Melanie Kinnaman seemed like she just wasn't into it at all. I really like the scene where she breaks Tommy out of jail, and then they're on the road, and then she forces Tommy's head into her lap. And there's just a lot of fun to be had in that scene. I will say there is one scene that kind of annoyed me. I just thought it really didn't fit in the grand scheme of things, and that is the paintball scene. The scene is set in the day, and you got Jason walking around. It does have a cool kill in it, the triple decapitation, but I just really didn't like the clownish atmosphere of that scene. I just didn't think that it fit with the rest of the movie that well. Also, this is the only Friday movie that actually has kids in it. And I'm listing this in the cons section of my review, but I really didn't hate the kids in the movie, but I really didn't think they were needed as well, because I'm gonna be honest, when I was watching this movie the first time, I thought there was no way in hell they were gonna have Jason kill kids. So to me, it's kind of pointless to have them in the movie. But the kids did have a couple of funny scenes, like what were you gonna be when you grew up? I gotta admit, that was pretty funny. So overall, guys, I have to give this movie a high purchase worthy. It is one of the best Friday movies, and every time I watch it, I have so much fun with Jason Lives. So CP, I hope I did you proud. Anyway, guys, what did you guys think of Jason Lives? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and drum dumb out.